Welcome to Saving America. This is Dr. David D. Shine. This is our production episode that we call In the News. And I want to start off by an important disclaimer. I am doing my best to correct the American language. Folks, it is regressive, not a progressive, for the particular identification that they're attaching to these people. And most of this is based on the writings of some old whack job holed up in a basement somewhere in London because he'd been dispossessed from his own country of Germany, and who never was able to support his own family, sat around writing stupid stuff, which somehow people have glommed onto without any sense of success. Folks, it is regressive to repeat the mistakes that were made by the USSR. It is regressive to see the failures in Venezuela, North Korea, Cuba, and by the way, China may have an economic system that is capitalist, even though it is identified as a communist country. That is a political party in that country, not actually the total devotion to socialism. And I think it's going to be real interesting, though, because China is in trouble as good old Xi works his way into a deeper and deeper hole by not paying attention to capitalist principles. So they may yet be another classic example of the failures of socialism. This is regressive, not progressive, and we all need to get on the stick about it. U.S. troops have been deployed in Taiwan for at least a year, and this is something that came out of the news fairly recently, and I find it very interesting, and I'm glad to see it because I don't know if we weren't already arming up the Taiwanese and preparing to protect them along with Japan, Australia, and the UK. I don't know that the clown in the White House would step up and take care of business, but I trust those who are involved in protecting Taiwan. And by the way, contrary to Xi's assertion that they need to create a one China policy under his leadership, the exact opposite is actually true. Mainland China is occupied by a terrorist force, basically Mao Zedong and his other terrorists who have murdered millions and millions of people. Xi should be ashamed of himself for even referring back to this horrible, murderous legacy in mainland China. Taiwan is the legitimate government of China, and we've lost track of that over the last 60 years, but I have not, and I'm not going to let people forget it. And in the meantime, Giggles Harris, who is supposed to be the US border czar, skipped a US-Mexico border meeting to go to New Jersey. Harris, Bidumb's so-called border czar, only visited the border once, spending several hours in El Paso, Texas, while on her way to her home in California. Remember that? And the only reason she did it is because Trump and Texas Governor Abbott were scheduled to go to the border the following week. Of course, they went to the middle of the border, which is where the border wall has been stopped by the Bidumb administration and the other total idiots currently running the Department of Homeland Security and basically most of the American government. So that's in the news for this episode of Saving America by Dr. David D. Shine. Thanks for joining us.